This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The question is this. Are we seeing the limits this week of Trump's decision first, details later, art of the deal approach to politics? Are we seeing the limits of it? Or, from the press conference forward, is President Trump purposely triggering leftist hysteria that we've seen? The leftist hysteria, the Russian Manchurian candidate conspiracy theories, the soccer ball with the listening devices, and all the other conjecture from the left. Conjecture's polite. Is he intentionally triggering that to his political and policy advantage? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line, while also restating his commitment to his own very good foreign policy team, as he did again yesterday in a sit-down with Jeff Glor from CBS.
You say you agree with U.S. intelligence that Russia meddled in the election in 2016.
Yeah, and I've said that before, Jeff. I have said that numerous times before. And I would say that that is true, yeah.
But you haven't condemned Putin specifically. Do you hold him personally responsible?
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
And you know the kind of reaction it's getting. I mean, when I said comparisons to 9/11, I'm not kidding. Listen to Richard Blumenthal, Dick Blumenthal from Connecticut.
So what are you going to do about this? You brought up the translator. Or do you think Republicans will actually allow a subpoena to be issued to get the translator to testify before Congress to say what went on behind closed doors?
Well, that is a key question, John. And my answer is that Republicans have a historic responsibility, as do all of us, because the red light is flashing, as the Director of National Security, Dan Coats, put it, much as it was before 9/11. We are in a 9/11 national emergency.
Oh, my God. And not only that, not only is the red light flashing, most importantly, Jim Comey is watching us.
Oh, he is.
Jim Comey is watching us right now.
History is watching us.
And
is history your friend, Dan?
All who believe in this country's values must vote for Democrats this fall. Otherwise, you're a godless communist. Like our next guest, Mike Gallagher. He is the host of the Mike Gallagher Show, of course, that follows us weekdays 9 to 11 on these airwaves. Mike Gallagher, please don't tell us you're going to disappoint Jim Comey.
Listen, I haven't been able to sleep since I saw his tweets because I'm very concerned. I thought if anybody needs a voice in this, it's Jim Comey. The book tour, he's over to Kmart over in Piqua, Ohio, and he's selling some books. And he decided, the sales are a little down. Let me get back into the spotlight. Let me inject myself into this. I mean, honest to goodness, guys, can you really picture a former FBI director acting like a field office director for the Democrat Party of the East Wing or something? I mean, it's the craziest thing, from Brennan and his unhinged rantings to Comey and Clapper. What a shock that Trump stood in Russia and is a little bit wary of his own intelligence community, because there are still plenty of holdovers from the Obama era who are in the intelligence community, and this is a president who doesn't forget. So, I can't imagine anybody really, this is the typical feigned outrage from the media. Oh my gosh, he doesn't really have a lot of faith in the intelligence community. Now, having said that, he gets back, he sees the blowback. He tells Jeff Glor from CBS, I sat down with Putin. I was very strong. I told him no meddling. We're not going to tolerate meddling. I know he was meddling, but they don't believe him. They're not going to. I mean, you hear all these analogies. If he learned how to walk on water, they'd say it's because he doesn't know how to swim. I mean, there's never going to get any. He's never going to receive any credit from the howler monkeys in the mainstream press, and even some Republicans who hate the guy with such a passion that they abandon their own conservative principles just so they can try to tear him down. Here's a little ditty. Here's a little tiny little factoid that never Trump Republicans might want to consider. This week, the Senate Republicans have broken the all-time record on presidential picks for the appeals court judges. They voted senators 50 to 49 vote. Andrew Oldham, he's going to be a judge on the Fifth Circuit. That makes him Trump's 23rd Circuit Court judge confirmed. That's a record. It's the most ever in the first 2 years of a presidency, which, of course, as we all know, will shape the direction of the U.S. court system for decades. Now, maybe we ought to get more excitable about whether he said no or would or wouldn't or shoulda or tomato or tomato. But I kind of like the makeup of the courts. I kind of like the way the Supreme Court is going to continue to look. And incidentally, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg or maybe even Clarence Thomas step down and you start seeing
Clarence Thomas.
That's the buzz.
How dare you? How dare you?
I know. Well, God forbid. But
I
that's
refuse to entertain that.
I'm hearing that. No, I hate it. I hate to even get those words out in the universe, but that's been some buzz for a few weeks now that he's considering it. But I mean, just think of what this Supreme Court is going to look like with even 2 more years, or hopefully 6 more years of a Republican president. So it's just another day in paradise for these guys. They're not going to believe him anyway. Watching these crazy reporters in the press briefing yesterday, screeching out of turn, April Ryan trying to once and for all, will somebody tell me why the White House feels obligated to give the people who are going to misbehave in that White House press briefing a credential? Yet not everybody gets to walk in off the street and sit in that small room and ask questions. Get somebody else from American Urban Network if this is going to turn into the April Ryan show every afternoon.
Well, what did she? I didn't see the whole thing. What did she do that was so upsetting?
So Sarah Sanders is calling on different people, and as is her wont, she calls on who she wants to. Well, April's sitting over there seething and starts screeching out something about voter disenfranchisement. Wasn't even anything that they were talking about. And you're not going to call on me, so I'm going to call on you. Starts bellowing at her. Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, they're great foils, though. They're great foils.
It's great TV. I mean, it's must-see TV, and it's fun to watch and listen to on the radio. And it's and Sarah Sanders. Holy cow, what job won't she be able to do after she leaves the White House?
Yeah. Well, I wonder what restaurants she could eat at later.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, I know. There's one restaurant that I don't think they're going to have an opening for, but she's a tough cookie, and it's interesting to watch the left react to her, too. They loathe her, too. I mean, they just hate her. They just think she is, the devil personified. And there's just a lot of anger and a lot of hate. On our side, we just have to try to be consistent and unified and recognize things that matter, as the late Charles Krauthammer would say.
Well, let's go to things that matter then. And I kind of started the segment. I want to get to your response to the question I posed, because Daniel Henninger has an interesting piece in the Wall Street Journal about this. This is the art of the deal, ? And he essentially argues that, I'll recite his words here, past some point of complexity, such as the global supply chain or North Korea's nuclear program, decision first and strategy later degrades into deadlock, or what may be worse, happy talk, which in times erodes credibility. Are we seeing the limits of Trump's approach in the international arena on trade, on North Korea, on Russia? Or, as Angelo Codavia argues in American at amgreatness.com, Codavia, of course, who coined the term ruling class that has become popularized, said basically that Trump's performance at that press conference was A+, and the journalist who asked him that question that he had to restate his answer to the day after was out of bounds. Where are we?
I'm not sure the question was out of bounds, but I do know we've seen a president whose actions often don't line up with his words. In other words, he says something at a press event. I kind of believe he's the ultimate troll, either on Twitter or even at press events.
The ultimate troll.
The ultimate. He's just trying to get under their skin, and it works. I mean, I think he sits back. Listen, I've been with him a few times since he became president, and to sit in a room with him, guys, he doesn't have a care in the world. He doesn't give two hoots about upsetting CNN. He doesn't.
Sure. No, I believe that.
I mean, because if it was any of us, well, you guys are pretty tough. But in my case, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed because I'd think, man, how much more can I take? He thrives on this, so it doesn't seem to impact him on a personal level. I think he's got a game going where when he's one-on-one with reporters, he says things, and then the actions often don't meet the rhetoric, and we're seeing that with with North Korea. There were mixed messages about what was going to happen with North Korea. It's a verifiable fact that we've been a lot tougher on Russia than the previous administration was. Everybody knows that.
I mean, we haven't lightened up on sanctions. You know, there's a whole list of things that President Trump has not done.
Sarah read that list yesterday, and it's even longer than the list we all typically refer to. So, and much more significant than Barack Obama's list. So, you know, this guy he's a showman. He gets up on stage, even when he's standing next to Putin. He knows the world is watching, and he's going to say things
Jim Comey.
Yeah.
Jim Comey's watching too.
Yeah, Jim Comey, and he may tweet. I mean, I'm worried about. I just am praying. I got my eye glued on his Twitter feed to see if he says something tells me what I should do next week. Since he's going to tell me how to vote in November, so I can be a patriot. This really highly regarded. He wasn't disgraced or fired or anything. I mean, he really has a lot. He has a lot to say. And Brennan, this poor guy.
Very thoughtful. Thoughtful, measured individual.
Yeah, not too over the top. You know,
he's so
and honestly,
I call him madman. I mean, he looks like he's angry all the time.
But Dan and Amy, that's what I wonder so much about, and I can say this even about some of our dear friends close to home. I get that you can say I don't like what the president his press conference in Helsinki. I get it. You could say, okay, I wish he'd have said this. And there were a lot of moments during the campaign where I said, I wish he would have worded it this way. But to go from preferring he used better language or a better answer to he's a traitor and he's guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors, never support him again. I don't know how you make that leap. I honest to goodness, I don't. It's that personality nature. It's just very personal for some of these folks.
Well, yeah, Mike, you're a sporting fellow. I know this.
Yes,
and we want to give Democrats a chance in November. We want this to be fun. We want them to be able to participate and put their best foot forward. So we've been working all morning, and maybe you can help us out a little bit.
With our new slogan.
Yeah, they unveiled, House Democrats unveiled their slogan for the midterms, and it's an upgrade from their previous one, which was Better Deal. Now their slogan is For the People.
Oh, for the people?
Yeah. And then
Michelle Obama has a new
voter
registration initiative with Tom Hanks and Faith Hill.
Yeah.
And that is when we all vote.
When we all vote.
So we all vote. So I like that.
We got Better Deal for the people when we all vote. If you kind of combine this ransom note, you can kind of do. So.
And in Chicago, thanks to your alderman Maya Pawar, you have free money for all. I love universal basic income. I mean, that's a real winning formula.
He's my alderman.
Free money for all.
I think you got it. I think you just hit it for their slogan. Free money for all. That's
free
the
money
slogan.
for all. Although it's not really free money for all because we're the ones that are going to have to pay, but somebody's going to get $500 a month to buy on liquor and strip clubs, and whatever else they want to spend their money on. Because after all, that's the Democratic Party of 2018. Honest to goodness, the face of the Democrats of 2018. This is right up their alley. When I read that this guy got all kinds of backing from Chicago politicians to provide 1,000 families with a $500 monthly stipend, no questions asked. There it is, free money, just free money. This is a vote for a Democrat. You get $500 maybe.
Free money.
Free
money as the 2018 slogan. I like that.
The Price is Right. It's like The Price is Right, Chicago style.
It's succinct. It's substantive. It's reflective of their philosophy. That covers a lot of bases.
Entitlement. You got the entitlement box checked. I mean, this is they're onto something there. We need to just do that. Just start writing money. Just writing checks.
Just send me money in
you should shoot that over to Tom Perez and have you guys workshop that.
The only problem is we're laughing and we're joking, but you know what? I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of them, as you've seen this Democrat socialist 28-year-old in New York who, this poor girl, I mean, don't ask her about Israel, please don't ask her about capitalism because what a bizarro world answer. But she's going to win. She's going to be the congresswoman from the Bronx in New York.
I think we should actually amend the Constitution so that because she won't be 35 in 2020, so she can run for president.
Listen, if she can give free money for all, I'm in, because I could use the $500. You know, I've got some trips planned. I want to do some stuff. I want to, I got to get some more clothes. I'm ready. I'm in. I'm voting for Ocasio. Free money.
He is Mike Gallagher. He's coined the 2018 midterm slogan, and he'll have more of his rhetorical stylings at 9 a.m. today. Mike Gallagher, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dan and Amy. Keep it up. Keep fighting the good fight.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro